Hey guys, Brixenta here, and today in our video, we are going to talk to an entrepreneur about pursuing her dreams. So now I'm going to let our special guest introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Megan Kasper. I'm an artist that does pen and ink, painting, illustrations, art mentorship, and many other things that include creative facets.
What is your business called?
My business is called Megan Kasper Inspired Art. So it's megankasper.com if you ever wanted to go check out my website.
And I will put all of her links in the description box down below, so be sure to expand the description box and click on her website.
So yeah, I just recently started going more full time. I have been a part of a ministry, which I'm going to continue being a part of as their art team leader here. But I've been a part of International House of Prayer, Kansas City, for the last 9 years or so. And I've been working with one of their departments, and it was the bookstore. So I was able to learn a lot about business and the business side and how that kind of ran. And so that really helped me step into a little bit more of art business, to take my art and actually go and develop more of a business side of things as I grew to learn how to do that work and also sell my art in that store. But just this past January, I've launched off into wanting to just go for art full time, and it's been a leap of faith. So, yep.
Well, that's pretty awesome. And I'm sure that viewers will have many questions because I know I have several that are launching their own business, whether it be from writing to singing to artsmanships to there's a whole bunch of different people. And so I know they're going to really enjoy what you have to say. Um, so have you always been successful knowing what you were going to do, or did you have to work hard to figure out what you wanted to do with a business?
I definitely had to work hard at figuring it out. I mean, my past has been one of, I've always wanted to do something artistic and design wise. I wanted to go into fashion design, but I was counseled to um, go and do something that would definitely sustain me longer in the long run. And so I did cosmetology at first, but then, which was very creative, and definitely became a color specialist, obviously liking painting and everything. But I became allergic. So the next step was, what do I do after that? I can't work in hair. I can't work with the chemicals. I can't work with all of those things. So my path kind of had to take a different turn, and I actually went for graphic design, but then had to take some regular classes of art, like design class and painting and drawing. And I just love that. I was like, I don't want to sit behind a computer and design some sort of packaging for some sort of company. And, I was like, I want to do it my own way. So it has been working a part-time or a full-time job, and then my art on the side for a really long time. But until I've seen that I've been able to see that I've gotten a response of there's customers that do want my art in their houses and for their friends and their family with reprints and things of that nature. As they say that it's inspiring and it sends forth life and it brings forth a message of hope, and in different ways that art can do. And so yeah, I've always had to work to through a job plus try to build my art at the same time. So it's been a journey, but it's been a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, was it easy to find your clients?
Well, the easy part was working with the bookstore, just because I was able to put it in the store, and so I didn't have to find my clients in some ways. And even before that, I worked in a coffee house, and the manager let me display my art and had our customers actually ask me to do pieces for them, which was amazing. And so now it's branching out to find new customer base. So that's the season I'm in, of not just waiting to see if the customers of the places I'm already working and networking. That's a little bit of a new field. But I do have some friends that are connected. I feel like it was the time in the season that even the Lord was just showing me with knowing people that work with Hallmark. And so I have mentors, which is definitely um, a great thing, and something I think everybody needs. A support system to keep you going, and if you're stuck, you can. Yeah.
Oh, can you repeat after you said if you're stuck? I think it froze.
Okay. If you're stuck, when you have those that are mentors in your life, you can go to them and sort it out and ask their opinion and see if they have advice, or even connections or more networks that maybe that they didn't think of when you first met or talked. So having mentors is a really huge positive to starting your own business and having. I'm still very new at trying to bring all of my business and what I want it to be. So my branching out is still very, very brand new, like a new baby. Feels like a new baby. Gotta watch it all the time. And so, but knowing it's like planting a seed, and things will grow in the near future, and invest in a little bit here and a little bit there, and it will grow later. But definitely having the mentors who have been there, done it in their, like one of my mentors was had her own interior design company. And so yeah, just talking with her has been great with, again, clientele and just in networking and just sharing, like, yeah, just do this step, okay, yeah, work on this. And or I'm saying maybe I should go this direction, and she's like, I mean, and she could give me some probable possibilities just because she's been in the business world and worked with people in a creative way. So that's more in the way of doing commissioned work or that kind of thing. She's definitely a great mentor in that. So yeah.
So you're saying you can't just paint a picture and expect it to sell by itself?
Not always. I mean, I think I really truly believe that each piece, the Lord has somebody for it, especially if I've been feeling a lot of peace, even though I haven't sold a big piece in a long time. I haven't tried, and I'm trying now. I'm trying online. There's a couple of online sites that collectors are looking for. I am looking at doing art displays down at First Fridays. So taking opportunities. I have to build up, and I don't want to sell too much because I want to build up a collection to be able to do a full gallery as well, which if you start trying to sell all your artwork, and even some of your best ones or ones where that people even respond to well, then you might you might want to build a collection around that piece so that you have a whole collection. So you have to look at it as, is this piece collection worthy? Like, it needs to be part of my collection. Is it cohesive with a collection I can do? And then display it, and then you may have actually more sales as a collection than as you do as just doing one or two pieces. So right now I'm building my online portfolio of pieces that originals that I would like to sell, which I, again, haven't sold any yet. They've only been on for less than a month, but believe that the right person, the Lord has somebody to, that it belongs to, and that they will see the message. They know that the message is for them and their house and where they need to put it. So just trusting the Lord is also part of it, to where he's going to be the provider, the first and foremost, my negotiator, my mentor, my provider in this. So yes, but definitely I know I need to work on some more marketing skills and how to market myself a little bit better. That's another thing I'm growing in, as that wasn't my more my job, say, in the places I've been. So that's something I do have to develop on my own. So yep.
And doing art from an artist standpoint and doing art from a business standpoint sounds like it's quite different. So how did you get from one to the other?
Well, I guess over the years I've kind of picked up from my business job of being I was a book buyer for 4 years, is seeing what is my customer base, like who do I want to sell to, or who am I selling to. And as an artist, you do have a message that you want to come out, and you want to have your own style, but you also have to see what your customer base is looking for as well. And so now the thing is finding with going and selling originals is I have to find who and where my original customer base is. But when you're doing consignment or say illustrations, you're usually working for somebody. Somebody is hiring you for a specific piece, and that kind of thing is, yes, you have to get out of your own mindset of exactly what you want, because they usually have something that they are looking for. But still in that, it's a give and take of doing your own style, knowing your own style, knowing your own skills, and even stepping out to try different skills. But also seeing if that is something that is what you as an artist want to put your name on. So it's in one hand, it's a job and you're doing art, but in another hand, you have to decide, is that something that you can put your name on, as part of your portfolio kind of thing. So it really is somewhat personalized, but yet still need to see the bigger picture business wise, which is not always easy to do. It feels like a mental struggle sometimes.
Every day?
No, not every day, but when you're working with somebody else's dream, yeah, that is a little bit of a harder thing. But
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think do you think what you just said applies to anybody that's starting an entrepreneurship, or do you think it just applies to artists?
I think I guess it depends on where you're at in your business. Majority of the time when you do start, say, art or singing or because I've been around a lot of singers most of my life, is realizing that if a singer is going to start off, usually you do want to sing songs, say if you're doing a wedding, or if you have a gig, you do cover band, you do sing other songs, so that the people can sing along and they notice and they understand. And then you throw in a song of your own or two here or there, And then as you start your following, it's always, you have to find out what your following is and where your following is. And when you can gauge that well, and understand that, that's when you can start building your own songs, building your own art to where people recognize it, people accept it as a in thing, if that makes sense, or a purchasable thing, recognizable thing. You've trademarked it then. And I'm at the point, so I think it all depends on where you're at, business-wise. If you're very, very, very new, then sometimes doing, recognizable things is for your benefit, so that people can, it's building trust almost in some ways. Right now, I'm in the in-between of, I do have a following. It's not as big as and most of my following isn't, they're not buying originals, they're buying reprints and things of that nature. So right now I need to figure out my following, that building up my following that buys originals, that buys canvases, that buys the more pricey stuff, and build that up now. But how to do that is also, do I go back to the more recognizable things with still being myself? That's always interesting. You still have to, there's a book called, or a guy from Houston that talks about stealing like an artist. So you take things that are recognizable, but you make them your own. So you do a twist on it, you still make it yourself. So it's like your work is still noticeable, but people go, oh, what's that? Or wait, that's not the original, or the original person, or something, So that's pretty much how I see it works a little bit. So.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned a key point of making sure whatever you're doing, you keep it your own.
Yep.
Because what do you see happening to people that don't do that?
Yeah. When they're becoming clones, I guess. They're becoming, but I think you also have to find out who you truly are too. I think if you don't know that, then other people are going to feel that on your art form. Like, if you're still finding yourself out, and that's fine, it's a journey, and you're going to make great things, and there's going to be times that the things that you paint or sing or aren't going to be that easy or take off that well, but it's still you finding you in some ways. So yeah, but it is, you still always have to be yourself, even if you're doing a cover song, or if you're doing just working with a medium that you're not used to. It's partly about having fun too. I mean, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, then they're not gonna, then I don't think that people are going to, I feel like people are going to respond to it the way you respond to it, or even more in a lot of ways. So your heart, your soul, your emotions go into this thing. And yes, you're going to have people who reject it because it's just not their thing and they don't understand it. But I think that they still are stirred to a little bit. They just don't understand it. And of course, you can't make them sometimes.
It's true.
So, yes.
You're not a nice cup of tea, and that's okay.
Exactly. So, yep.
So I know for me, it's hard to find that balance between having fun with what I'm doing, but yet keeping the business aspect of everything in mind. How do you find that balance?
I think I'm still trying to find it a little bit, just because I have had to branch out business-wise a lot more than I have before. because I have kept with working in business, I've kept a lot of my art as more fun, and let the bookstore that I was working for be my marketing, be my business side. I could do a little bit of my business side while I was at work. So now with having to branch out and having to build a new website, having to build like new portfolios and different websites, I've had to spend a little bit more time than I've probably would have liked, but it's really, I think about scheduling and sticking to the schedule, looking at it as a scheduled job, to say, if I'm going to spend 5 hours in the art studio on this day, and this day, and then take this day, just schedule it out, schedule the business side out, schedule your studio times, and so that you are not freaking out last minute or you don't have something done, or you're realizing it. And I guess making lists of things that can and should be done. And I mean, I think also don't give it to anybody, but also I think that there are times that you need to step into having a manager and letting somebody take it farther than you can, so you can focus on your art and you can focus on your craft, if you want to say. And sometimes it's, again, I think it's waiting on Holy Spirit to bring the right people into your lives to do that too. And or to even ask the mentors, see what they have to say about, is it time yet or not? Should it, again, it's like a little baby. Do you let somebody take care of it or not? And but at the same time, you'll know, it's kind of like you'll know when if there's a reliable person to help you with that business or marketing side kind of thing. So yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
And you mentioned scheduling and treating it like a business.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's something that when I first started off a few years back, I really struggled with feeling guilty about missing a prayer meeting or missing going out to eat with everybody or something like that. And I also had people coming at me going, why would you do that? You can do that some other time. This is something you can do anytime. So how do you combat the guilt and people's questions towards that?
I would say that, again, I would look at it as, yeah, there are some things in life that I will take off for, if you want to say. If it's, say, a very important person in your life or family's birthday, and I usually have scheduled to go do an art set at the prayer room, I might take that night off and just say, nope, it's important. Like, if I had a regular job, I would probably take that time off and go to the family's birthday. So again, having to really look at the big picture of, is this something that is relational and important and I should put aside, or I should put aside business so that...
Oh, it just completely dropped.
I know.
Oh, you're back. Okay. No. If you could say those couple of sentences again, that'd be great.
Exactly. So yeah, so trying to look at the big picture and remember that, yeah, with a regular job, with a regular business, you get days off that you can take, but you can't take too many. Otherwise, you don't have a job anymore, or you don't have a business anymore. What you put into is what you're going to get out of it. And it's not letting I mean, I even struggle with I have a very big family. I have lots of people I know, and even ministries that are even asking me right now, like, oh, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? And I'm like, I would love to do that as an artist, you know. Um, but I'd have to get myself established. I need a good foundation of being able to have financial stability before I say yes to all these things, and also have my business plan um, stable enough. So which way do I go? Because I am part of a ministry where I can raise support, which if I do more of that, I'm going to have to do that because that means less time for my business and to hopefully make profit for being sustainable to do the other things as well. So it is finding where is it priority in your life. I always look at, is this dinner with a friend priority? And I mean, dinners, you shouldn't be working 24/7 whatsoever, you know, set your schedule. And if you need to rearrange the schedule a little bit, don't do it a ton, but do it. You can do it some. That's, I guess. So,
And if you had a friend that was like, hey, let's go to dinner, and you're like, no, no, I really need to work, how would you explain that to them? That that is a valuable work and that's your actual scheduled time to work.
I guess I would tell them, yeah, I tell them I have to work and you know, can another night work and give them I find that giving them specific dates helps because then they can pick because you are the one that's really truly in control of your schedule. And if they don't understand, then that kind of just, I mean, shows what kind of friend they are. I mean, obviously if you've stood them up quite a few times,
Yeah.
you know, depending on, yeah, both of your relationships, but say they get mad because this is the first time, and they're probably not a friend that you want. They're not
Exactly.
supporting you
Right.
in your world, and you're not saying you can never see them again. You're just saying, this is work. I have work, and you would respect them. They can't just leave their job. So I say always throw in dates and times that you can say this would work better for me. So you're also showing them like, hey, it's not that I don't want to spend time with you. I just can't right now. So, yeah.
So you have worked really hard to pursue your dreams. This is your dream, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't remember if we established that, but I thought we should if we hadn't. So in doing that, did you ever think that you would even get to this point where you're saying, I'm going to do this full time?
Um, I would say, I guess I've, with seeing how people have responded over the years to my art, selling like reprints and things, I guess I have felt like I could get to this point. I guess I I guess I don't really know how to answer the question just because I've had my dreams are, I would say that yeah, maybe actually I haven't really seen or known that I could do it per se just because it has been so many years of feeling like I'm juggling.
Mm-hmm.
But really that big hope because of seeing people respond that they have to art that I have sold in the bookstore and different places, and 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 not thinking that probably what it was. I think I started selling art in the bookstore around 6 years ago now or so. And then this past year, having somebody from Hong Kong wanting to sell my art in Hong Kong. And so in some ways, it's that place of, again, leap of faith, because I've been seeing it, but I haven't really been believing it. And I'll be honest that even sometimes it's hard to believe now, because again, I'm planting but not seeing more harvest yet in new places. So it still is a journey. And even looking at, I may have to supplement income here or there as I go along. Just do a job here or there that wouldn't be. But I think that's normal. I think that it's better that rather than I'm taking the steps of, it used to be full-time job and then part-time art. Now I'm just trying to swap it where I have the full-time art, maybe a part-time job, maybe, or a different way or view, because no business takes off overnight like the lottery, winning millions of dollars. It takes a lot of hard work and focus and love.
Like an overnight success, they are not.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, so to believe that it's again, I have a lot of imagination, a lot of belief, yet I know that it's still going to take a lot of work in a lot of ways. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Sure it does. Actually, that's perfect, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are feeling the same way you are, and they're frustrated because they feel that way. And it seems like so many times we hear these success stories, and that from rags to riches, but then no one sees the in between rags to riches, the in between processing. So perfect.
Yep.
So speaking of rags to riches, you're pursuing your dream now and you're believing for it. Do you think anybody can pursue their dream, or do you think it's only certain people?
I think if it's something that you do, no matter what, if it is something that you will not put down, even though, like I said, in this hand, I had a full-time job, and over here was still hanging on to that art and trying to do both. And also letting it grow naturally. If you have, not if it's just something that you're like, oh, back here in the back of my mind, someday I'll get to. And if you're working at it little by little with the extra time you have, I think you can go for it. I think you will find your place where kind of like the road opens wider, that you can see the avenues that you can take with your art. So yeah, I think you can. I think you, again, little by, sometimes it's little by little, sometimes it's jump out of the airplane, you got your parachute, or that kind of thing. But I really do. I think if it's something that you just cannot let go of, and it's something that you're just like, this is what I made for it, then you should go for it for sure. Yep.
Awesome. And last question, what advice do you have for everybody who is wanting to pursue their dreams, is pursuing their dreams, has already pursued wherever they're at?
I would say get enough sleep.
Oh, very important.
Getting sleep is very important. Rest, and exercise. Take care of yourself to a certain, to a healthy extent, is because you need to have your whole mind and focus and being sharp as you are building. You are, if you think of it as like a builder or a farmer, and so you need to have blueprints, you need to have a game plan, you have all those things. So following your dream is an amazing, amazing thing, but there's so many tools out there to get you to your dream, from looking things up on the internet of how to do it to and investing, knowing that you need to invest a certain amount of time and energy before you're going to see something back again is really normal. So don't freak out. But your dreams are going to come to be if you breathe, you see the whole picture, you're able to then zoom in, do the details that you need to do, and then step out and see that it's a process and it's a journey, and it can be fun, and it's an adventure in a lot of ways. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks, Megan, for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking me.
Yeah, you're amazing. And so again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This was Megan Kasper. She's a phenomenal being. So I suggest you check her out. In the description box down below will be all of her links. You'll get to check out her art because her art is amazing. And I love you guys so much. And as always, dream big.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Take it.